talking here with Tricky Jackson, the guy who just finished third at the Europa Super Show. How you doing, Tricky?
What's going on, Paul?
And David Goodin. And I gotta say, I don't know if you want me to, but I gotta tell anyway. This
ahead.
guy is 50 years old.
51.
51 years old. Looks like he's 20.
Yeah, from, I guess, the neck down, right?
Well, you don't look bad from the face up either. So.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, tell
Gray hair
us.
kind of gives it away, though, right?
Oh, come on, you look great. Come on. I wish I want to look like this when I'm 50. So definitely something to look for. Okay, guys, tell us a little bit about the training you just did. You train shoulders. Tell us about the exercises and the whole philosophy of the training.
Well, what we did today was Dave actually led on shoulders. I think sometimes that's really good when pros train together because they can learn from each other. I've got a confidence in Dave because I know he's at the same level I'm at, and so I feel comfortable with following his lead. I added a little bit of a taste of some of the things that I do in there, a couple movements, but the camaraderie, the energy, the intensity was really good. So we did mostly basic movements. We didn't do a full-fledged workout. Obviously, we're day after a show, but we got in about 3 movements. We did a shoulder press movement. We did a superset where we did a side lateral movement with a rear delt movement, and then we ended with some front deltoid work.
Awesome. Dave, do you train after the show, or do you usually take time off?
No, I usually continue training. I'm going to go back home tomorrow and train, and I'll train again on Tuesday, and I leave. I go to LA for a photo shoot for a couple of days, and I come back, and I got another guest posing appearance here in about 3 or 4 weeks, and so I'm going to continue training. And to me, coming off a show, I like to continue training because I start putting more calories back in and more nutrients back in, and I think you can get good growth if you continue training after a show. The other thing, one of the things I wrote about in one of my columns is post-contest depression. Somebody asked me about that last year. And if you stop training, you just gain fat so fast and you lose muscle. And all the work you did in 3 or 4 months to get into contest shape, you'll lose it in a matter of days. And it really messes with your mind. So I like to continue training and use those extra calories to put on muscle and still look good as I'm coming off a contest shape.
Absolutely right. How about you, Tricky?
I agree with Dave 100%. I mean, on the first thing that he mentioned, there's a window of time where after a show that you can actually put on some really good muscular growth. Just by upping your calories, clean calories, and getting right back in the gym, that 4 or 6 week window of time is a perfect situation for some growth in the muscles. So I like to do that myself as well. Now, for me, after this event, I should probably be right back in the gym anyway, getting ready for another show for the Olympia coming up. But I'm still going to take a couple days off from the strength training and then all my supplements and everything, just let my body rest. I may still do a little cardio because I'll probably eat a little bit of what I want to eat, but I don't want to put on any, obviously added body fat that I have to take right back off. So I'll probably let my mind and body rest a little bit, just do a little light cardio, get the blood flow going, and then start getting my head ready for my next show.
Absolutely. Which will be 2010 Mr. Olympia. You going to do anything different for it? Any special plans or any tricks?
The answer to that question is no. I'm not going to do anything different. I think that the package I brought to the Europa this weekend was one of my best packages I've brought on stage, the pro stage to date. I actually won this show last year, and I fell to 3rd this year. And, that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. But I don't think it was because I didn't do my homework. On this given day, they thought the 2 guys, were better than me. And both those guys were in great condition, great shape as well. So I can't say anything negative about those guys. But, the reality was I actually talked to a couple of judges, and they said, you're just a tad bit out muscle. So I'm not going to be able to put on any muscle in my eyes in the next 5 weeks. So I'm just going to try to hold the conditioning, bring the package in, just as well as I did for this one, maybe a tad bit harder and drier. And I may really focus on a little more flair and pop in my presentation because maybe with that, I might be able to to draw the judges a little bit more attention to me and maybe get them excited about what I'm doing from a presentation standpoint, where they may elevate me into that top 5, which is my goal, is to crack that top 5 at that Olympia Showdown.
Absolutely right. We wish you all the best, and hopefully you can snag that top 5 this year.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. Dave, how about you? What's your next show?
Well, this is the only show I'm going to compete in this year. And, you know, it was a blast being up there on the IFBB Pro stage. And I was up there on Friday in the pre-judging and thinking, you know, this is what all the amateurs out there, this is what they're, you know, the pinnacle. This is where they want to be up here on the IFBB Pro stage. And so, you know, I'm just living the dream this weekend. And so it was a lot of fun. And, you know, even though I didn't place, you know, it was a blast. I had a lot of support from the audience and got a lot of compliments, you know, based on my age and being up there with the guys. And so it's just a lot of fun for me. I've got a guest pose at the MPC Heart of Texas Championships here in Dallas, September 11th. And that's going to be it for the year. I got to start up early next year. I'm going to guest pose the Ronnie Coleman. And so I'm going to hit more pro shows next year.
Well, tell us how the whole thing started. How did you get involved with bodybuilding?
Well, after I got out of college, you know, I've been in shape my entire life. I started playing sports as a kid, and I ran track in junior college, and I was a phys ed major at the University of Texas. And after I got my first teaching job and coaching, I joined a gym just to stay in shape because I didn't have all these sports to play. And a guy that was working out there, that was a competitive bodybuilder, talked me into entering my first show just 7.5 months after I joined that gym and started seriously training. And we did a few shows right in a row, and I placed in the top 3 in all of them, and so I was hooked at that point. And so I've never stopped. I'm training now. September will be 29 years I've been training, and the longest I've ever been off of weight training is one time I didn't train for 6 weeks.
Wow. So most of our viewers are probably younger than 29. So But anyway, that's awesome. That's inspiration, you know. That's what all of us should look to forward.
Well, you know, people say, how do you look like this? And it's consistency, really. You know, consistency, eating clean, getting good nutrition, and just never stop training. If you're one of those yo-yo people, you know, you take 2 steps forward and then 2 steps back, you know, you just don't get anywhere. But you keep putting good years together and good years together, all of a sudden you're an IFBB pro, you know?
Well, that's definitely deserve it.
Thank you.
Tricky, how about you? How long have you been training?
I have been training with weights since the age of 14. So I've actually been training about 20, actually I think it's about 29 years as well. Now, competing on stage, I started when I was 20. So this is my 23rd year in a row competing on the stage without missing a show. So my goal is to hit that 25 mark. So I got 2 more years. If I do 1 show next year and a show the year after, I'll hit that 25-year mark. And you know, Dave is really good. I got before I forget, I got to plug my sponsor, MHP, because that's one of the reasons I've been able to be in the sport so long, because there was a time where I was going to retire, and MHP picked me up, and that helped out so much, you know, and you know how it is, Paul, you compete yourself, you know, because certain side of sport, you know, with the travel and the food and everything can be expensive. So MHP picked me up, and you know, with their support and their supplements, I've not only been able to compete for an extended period of time, I've been able to excel to this level, to the Olympia stage, and you know, I just got to give credit to them. I can't say enough about them and their supplements.
And we got to mention they're making kick-ass supplements too on top of this.
Absolutely. I'm drinking track right now. For people wondering what that little bottle he's got in his hand, looks like purple Kool-Aid. It's actually water with a couple scoops of our creatine track. And so, you know, that helps me through these sessions like this the day after competition. But I also want to mention I also have a couple of guest posings coming up. I've got one in Washington coming up, the Iron Man, Iron Woman, NPC Washington show, and that's October the 2nd, and then I've got one coming up September the 7th in Coral Springs, Florida. And you know, then I've got my own show coming up as well, October the 9th, the Tricky Jackson Classic with Dexter Jackson coming in as my guest poser.
Well, speaking of Dexter, we also got to mention that's your cousin, right?
Yeah.
How do you see him placing at the Olympia this year?
Well, that's my cousin. I see him winning. If I don't say that, he's going to kick my tail when he sees me.
Well, he does look good, and I hear he improved a lot as well. So,
yes, he's been working with Charles Glass to try to switch his training up a little bit. He still has the physique that can do that. And, it's just one of those things where he nails that condition. He's got that little bit of added size maybe that the judges want to see. I think he'll always be one of those guys that's right there in the mix. And, he's an inspiration to me because that's where I want to be. I want to be right there in that top 5 mix at Olympia every time I go to the 202 Showdown.
Right. Listen, we want to wish you all the best for muscular development in bodybuilding and in life. And, go train, do what you do. You do it well. So just continue.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. And, it's not over for me today. I got a couple other shoots, and then I got to do my radio show later, Promotion Radio. So, it's a busy day in the life of a bodybuilder.
That's right. Dave, thank you very much as well. We want to wish you all the best.
Again.
Pleasure talking to you, and do your thing. You're the best at it, and continue to do it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have been asking me for 10 years when I plan to retire, and I was like, I don't plan to retire, man. This is too much fun. As long as I'm having fun, I'm going to keep doing it.
See, so guys, age has got nothing to do with it. Age is just a number. Those two guys are living proof.
I've got to give Dave props too, because Dave is also an inspiration to me, because I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm up there in age as well. But when I see guys like Dave come in the shape that he comes in and continue year in, year out, it motivates me to keep pushing at what I'm doing as well. So, he's an inspiration, I'm sure, to a lot of people out there, non-competitive and on amateur level, but other pros as well.
Absolutely right.
Yes.
Same thing, I got to mention. Both of you guys are an inspiration to me. I want to actually train now, so, so we got to wrap it up.